Trevs Show. I'm the Trev. Sweet. Sharks again. I would have did a video on this yesterday if I'd have gotten the notice before I was in bed. But anyway, the GM vacancy is filled. Now we're waiting on one more. Mike Grier is named your new general manager in San Jose. Let's talk about it. So Mike Grier becomes the 6th general manager in San Jose Sharks history. And this move comes as a direct result of Doug Wilson stepping down prior to the end of the 21-22 season, which we discussed. Here, you can follow the link up there. Now, this is Grier's first team as a general manager, so if you have any expectations, park him at the door. Prior to this, though, he was a hockey operations advisor with the New York Rangers for a season, and also worked with the Blackhawks as a professional scout. But he's also had time on the bench as an assistant coach in New Jersey. But it's definitely not a case of he comes in with no understanding of how to run the position. I mean, being the special advisor to the New York Rangers, on top of playing 1,000 regular season games over 14 seasons with Edmonton, Washington, Buffalo, and 2 seasons in San Jose. From 96 to 2011, you chalk up 101 playoff games. And you look at how his career went, he was more of a checking forward with a very defensive mind. So he at least understands that aspect of just the game in general, but the pieces you need. And there is also the historic aspect of it, if that is a big thing. He is the first African American to be appointed general manager in NHL history. But here's a neat little thing. His older brother is GM for the Miami Dolphins. His older brother, Chris. So what exactly lies ahead for Mike Grier and the San Jose Sharks past this point? Well, first things first. They need a coach. I mean, since they just fired their coach less than a week ago, which we covered here. Link is up above you. So there's that, and my thought on that is his first move has to be coach, and that move will be interesting. That'll tell the direction of the team for at least the next 2 years. This is a team that's missed the playoffs for the last 3 years, after going 21 seasons and making the playoffs 19 times. So there's that expectation. I mean, they're not the same team they were in that 97 to 2019 time span. As a matter of fact, it almost feels like they're on the decline, and I wonder how much of a problem $35 million in 5 players plays that part. When you've got 5-year core guys, more specifically Carlson, Burns, Couture, Hurdle, and Vlasic, and they're all making $7 million a year for the next 3 or more years. Yeah, the writing has to be on the wall at some point. Like, some of these pieces have to go, and it'll be interesting to see which pieces do go, which pieces actually say, hey, yeah, let's waive my no trade clause. Like, you got to think Hurdle and Couture are probably not going anywhere, which means you need to start building defense. Ironically enough, Carlson, Burns, and Vlasic are all defensemen. And being Grier has a defensive mind, or at least a defensive mindset, he should know what he has to do. And given the fact he's played 2 seasons in San Jose during his playing career, he should understand the expectations that go along with playing in San Jose and how much the crowd demands a winner. Believe it or not, as wrong as it might sound, San Jose fans are pretty rabid when they're on a roll. So he's got to understand what it means to be a competitive San Jose Sharks team. And I'm not going to lie, I miss the Sharks being competitive. The last 3 seasons have been not enjoyable watching the Sharks, and I've watched the Sharks since junior high school, since the day one of their existence. And a good Sharks team is better than a bad Sharks team from experience. But I give them, like I said, I give it 2 years. Hopefully, something solid comes out of the next 2 years. Because if you remember me in the Bugner video saying, "Are they doing a complete overhaul?" I think that's exactly what's going on. So we'll see what happens. As always, time tells all things. I don't know what Chess hockey videos. Well, thank you, Tunin. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. If you are here, give me the thumbs up. Let me know you're here. If you haven't, you're considering the idea of that red button. You know what it does. You know how it makes you feel. Let's do it up. Socials, they're in the description down below. Let's move forward. Well, as far as the regular or as the off season is concerned, as far as filling the holes, there's still that coach video, and I'm sure that's coming at some point soon. The draft is coming up this week. Free agency starts next week. So hopefully I'll get some projects in. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.